In the last episode of review, I could take a look at a Scale 500 freighter. In this episode, we move to Scale 400, and that is something I can do thanks to our great partner here on the channel, Jumbolino Model, who have really nice models at reasonable prices and great service. And the best of all, they are collectors themselves, so they really understand where we are coming from. So I can highly recommend them to you. You can find a link to them in the video description below. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A330-200F of Hungarian Air Cargo. And yeah, here at the front of the box we have a really lovely box design with the rendition of the aircraft, we have the crest of Hungary, we have the branding of the airline, and that design is of course then repeated more or less on the backside. But here we then also get a top-down view here of the aircraft, quite nice. We have the specifications of the aircraft and then again the various branding and crest and so on of this airline. So overall, yeah, a really nice box design for a hopefully lovely model that awaits us inside the box. And here she is, the Airbus A330-200F of Hungary Air Cargo. Now, technically, this aircraft was operated by Wizz Air when it was introduced into service during the corona pandemic by the Hungarian government. Today, the aircraft is supposedly being operated by an airline called Hungarian Airlines. Can't say that I know of it, but I think it is just an arm of the Hungarian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But maybe I have some Hungarian viewers out there who know what Hungarian Airlines exactly is. Let me know in the comment section down below. In any case, as this aircraft model was released in 2021, this aircraft was still operated by Wizz Air, and therefore it's also represented as a Wizz Air model on the aircraft, on the box, and so on. But let's see what JC Wings has come up with for this lovely model. And on the vertical stabilizer, we find the Hungarian crest. We also have a little bit of detailing on the horizontal stabilizer. On the fuselage, we then have the golden color, brownish color, I don't know what we should call it, continued from the stabilizer down to the fuselage, and there we then find the Hungarian flag and the full registration code of the aircraft. A little bit of a print line here at the edge of this golden brownish color, but not too bad. You have to get very close to see it. On the tail of the aircraft, we then have some lovely physical and printed detailing around the APU exhaust and some more printed detail underneath that. Now, if we move to the front of the aircraft, we can see across the fuselage the writing of Hungary Air Cargo. Apart from that, we then also find the logo here saying operated by, and then the Wizz Air logo, as I said, back in the day was operated by Wizz Air. Apart from that, we then of course very prominently displayed have the main cargo hatch alongside static ports, sensors and markings. So that's really quite lovely overall. The cockpit section itself has the cockpit windows with the black mask added as well as some window wipers and some lovely markings around the radome here at the nose of the aircraft. Do also notice the petro tubes that have been printed on as well. Quite lovely. Now, the engine nacelles on this aircraft model have been given the same golden brownish color that we find on the tail of the aircraft. Then we of course have the silver leading edge printed on, safety markings, loads of small hatches and ports. Really lovely. We again have the crest of Hungary, including the writing Government of Hungary. And yeah, just an awesome amount of printed detailing on these engines. Also, the physical detailing is really lovely, especially here from the front. Very, very nice. You can see the engine fan blades. And from the engine nacelles, we can move on to the wings. Starting off here with the top side, where we can see the different flap slats and spoilers carved out very nicely. We have the markings as to where to walk on the wing, both in terms of a line and in writing. Really quite lovely. Also, the underside of the wing, really lovely detailing. Here, also the full registration code of the aircraft once again. The Airbus A330-200F, of course, also has winglets, which in this case have been colored in with the Hungarian flag. That is, however, not my favorite part of the aircraft, or the wings for that matter, but the fact that we have landing lights printed on. Lovely.
Oh my god, look at all these lovely models. Oh, I'm sorry that I interrupt your review, but we'll get back to that model in just a second. But just check out all these lovely models. And perhaps you're like me and you just don't know which one you should add next to your collection, because here you're truly spoiled for choice with all the scales and all the die-cast manufacturers that you can find at the Jumbolino Model store. So do check them out. You can find a link to them in the video description below.
Now, the landing gear that is made entirely out of metal, as usual, with the wheels made out of plastic. We have the wheel caps indicated a bit, that's quite lovely. But I think the highlight here is, of course, the front landing gear with this reinforcement. From the side here, yeah, we have some printed details, that's lovely, but it's kind of swallowing up a little bit of the hatches here, but still overall quite nice. And if you are a fan of that, yes, this aircraft model does also have rolling wheels. So yeah, if that's a feature for you, this model has it. What it also has is a real whole lot of printed details on the belly of the aircraft. Yes, there is a hole in the fuselage for a stand that is not included with this aircraft model, but it doesn't really destroy any printed details, so I guess we can live with it. It, apart from the many printed details, also has some antennas. Those we also find on top of the fuselage, where we then also have a set dome and again combined with more printed details. So really overall quite lovely work here from JC Wings with the combination of physical and printed detailing. And then last but not least, we have some more printed details in form of the remaining doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back of the aircraft and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A330-200F of Hungary Air Cargo operated by Wizz Air from JC Wings in scale 1 to 400. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Now overall, I think JC Wings has done a pretty good job with this aircraft model, but it's not the perfect model for me. There are a few things here and there where I think they could have worked a little bit cleaner. Let's say it like that. I mean, one, we have a bit of a print line actually at the transition from the golden brownish color to the white color on the fuselage. Yes, you have to get close to see it, but it is there. What I have also noticed is that the engines on both sides seem to be pointing quite a bit downwards, which I think looks a little bit odd. Now, I don't know if this is a general issue with this production or a general issue with JC Wings A330s. You can let me know in the comment section down below. But at least on this model I noticed it, and yeah, for me it looks a little bit odd with the engines pointing a bit downwards, because otherwise the engines actually look really, really lovely. Another thing that I'm not super keen on is actually the reinforced front landing gear. Not so much because, again, from a little bit of a distance it looks perfectly fine, and we have a lovely amount of detailing around it, but the reinforcement seems to swallow up a little bit the hatches of the landing gear at the front, that I think could look a little bit better in my opinion. So yeah, slightly reworking some minor details here and there, but overall it is a really nice scale 400 aircraft model, I do believe. And I mean, it is certainly a fairly unique model given that it is based on this specific aircraft, and there is only this one aircraft. When the Hungarian government introduced it during the corona pandemic, yeah, they only got this one aircraft. So this is truly a one of a kind. In real life, of course, it has been mass-produced in scale 400, but still, yeah, this is the only Hungary air cargo aircraft model out there. So yeah, for me, a little bit of an interesting backstory to the aircraft, and therefore also, I think, an interesting aircraft model. But let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then feel free to leave a like. If you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? And with that, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.